What's up, y'all? It's your man Killer B, the goddamn Witchfinder General. You got a witch, I'm burning your ass up. Shout out to the Piss Drunks crew. What up, Decipher? What up, man? I told you I was going to do it. I was holding on for a goddamn reason. These motherfuckers right here. How many times, Decipher, how many times and how long have I been warning America about this shit? Shout out to the liquor store. I told you. And I'm going to do a little laughing tonight. Because I done told you motherfuckers. How many times I got to warn you? I told you I'm gonna start making comedy out of this shit. Shout out to all the victims. When white America going to wake the fuck up? I got some shit for white America tonight, though. I got some shit. Y'all think I be riding and shit on a certain wave and shit. No. Don't get it twisted. Yup. Thank you, Decipher and shit. Y'all go subscribe to Decipher and shit. Cause they try to shut my man down and shit. But know what I'm saying? Can't stop the goddamn wave. Can't stop the goddamn wave. What up, Nagy Springfield? Put the link up in here. Tell y'all what's up today. They go, wait. Got 8 people up in here already? Goddamn. Oh, shit. K.I. Unbreakable Spade. I heard you were looking for us witches. I don't want that smoke with you. And a lot of people don't. You wise. At least you got some sense. I feel you. But anyway, I got a certain definition for witches. So don't get twisted. If you want to practice whatever you want to practice, I ain't got no problem with that. But once you start doing shit, manipulating people, turning motherfuckers into psychopaths and sociopaths and all types of shit, guess what? The Witchfinder General is on your motherfucking ass. What, Malachi? Say crazy shit. Y'all allowing to people somebody stood shot. Goddamn, Malachi, your grandpa. Crazy shit that allowing into people somebody stood shot the shit out of his car. I don't know what you're talking about, Malachi shit. I want to know what you're talking about. Then. Run it back to me. Drinking too much for shit to be deciphering shit today. I call my boy coming straight out of Ireland. And shit. All right, that's what's up. Seven said I was waiting for Killer to say something. I knew it. You would. Yeah, sometimes I fall back for a little bit. Just to see what's going on and shit. You know, so I like to wait shit out. Sometimes when I wait, it'd be, you know what I mean? It'd be a good thing and shit that I wait. White America. I got some shit for y'all today. Shout out to my homegirl and shit. I was talking to her last night. I ain't gonna say no names. I don't start no shit. But her daughter was in school, got sent home from school for supporting Kyle Rittenhouse. Y'all believe that shit? Black woman. Black female child. Smoked all the kids' boots in class with her presentation. Very articulate. I want her to get on the show. I want to know if her mother will let her on the show with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's showing that some of these niggas out here got some goddamn sense. Some of them got some goddamn. Darth Door, what's happening? Right? So I want to talk about this little girl real quick before I get into the show. Old girl is 14 years old. Up in school, they talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse case. And she gives her presentation and said that this man had a right, this boy He was an adult. This boy had a right to protect himself. Those people wasn't afraid of no goddamn gun. They wanted to take that gun from that boy and do God knows what. And she had to speak on all things, a lot of, I could say, a lot of black people didn't approve of the verdict. But we live in the United States and shit. We live in the goddamn United States. You know, a lot of you niggas don't go to jury duty. Y'all do everything y'all can to avoid jury duty. I'm one of them. I went one time, though. They ain't put my ass on no shit. Sit my motherfucking ass home. And I'm glad they did, because I would, at that time in my life, I wasn't in my right mind. I was in the cold. So I would have did any old thing. Shit. Send that cracker to the chair. That's what I would have said. Send that goddamn cracker to the goddamn chair. Right? I'm doing something right when Nagy sitting there smiling and shit and shaking his head no. I know I'm doing something right. Right? So
it's super funny. I was gonna say send him to the chair.
I don't care what they did. They ran a stop sign. Send them goddamn crackers to the chair. Right? That's how I was living at the moment. So yeah, so long story short, because I want to get on with the show. They sent old girl home, and the kids was calling her a coon. The other black students in school was calling her a coon, to the point where the school system felt that they needed to send her home. And the school system told the mother of the child that, you know, we gotta tell the other parents, if they come back here or call the school and want to complain about what's going on in the school system, because you know the kid's gonna go home, say, mama. They're saying Kyle Rittenhouse and shit. Did the right thing, and niggas want jungle justice. That's right, I said it. Jungle justice. Jungle justice. No trial, no nothing. This is how we feel. So we got to get rid of this white motherfucker, right? So they said, well, we're going to have to tell the parents and stuff that the child was black. Right? So I'm waiting for this to happen. I say, oh, girl, you might wake up in the morning and shit with the news, CNN, and everything in front of your goddamn house. So shout out to old girl and stuff. She'll pop up in here and stuff. She'll announce herself. And she want me to tell her business and stuff, let people know who it was and stuff. I don't think it's a bad thing. But back on this shit, goddamn Darrell Brooks, boogie eating nigga, rapper, old ass senior citizen rapper. I don't know why motherfuckers want to rap when they damn near 40.
And can I say that I was the one to find out some stuff about this?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, you was. That you right, Nagy.
I jumped on this. It was kind of funny. There were some funny things, but I'll hold off. Go ahead.
Nagy's the one told me. I was waiting, right? I was doing some other things and shit. I had some other things going on today and shit, like drinking and shit. And I get home and Nagy like, well, goddamn, this son of a bitch was a goddamn Hebrew Israelite. I was like, hallelujah. I knew that shit was the truth.
I'm having too much fun with this.
Making a murder? I don't know. I don't watch TV and shit, so that sounds like a TV show. Making a murder went down, but I could assume that motherfuckers is crazy and shit like that, like motherfuckers that live in Indiana and shit. Crazy motherfucker, home of the serial killers. But shout out to Indiana. And Wisconsin. Shout out to Wisconsin and shit. Because y'all don't listen. Y'all thought y'all was safe in Wisconsin? I thought all of Wisconsin was cheese and shit. That's all. That's the only thing I know about Wisconsin. I didn't even know niggas live in Wisconsin.
I was going to say something about cheese, but you beat me to it again.
Yep. I didn't even know niggas live in Wisconsin. The run over a gang of white people and shit. Men, women, and children. Right? My condolences to all the white people out there and stuff that lost their lives and shit to these boogie eating niggas. But I told you it was going to happen. Florida, Daytona, Florida. I told you it was going to happen. When that boogie eating nigga shot that cop in the face. I told you a week before. I tagged the FBI and said these Hebrew Israelites is out to kill motherfuckers. Made the video. You think I'm lying? I'm flying. I got the video on my channel. A week before it happened. No response. Oh, Killer B on that bullshit again. And then they gonna shoot one of the white folk in the face. Shot him right in the face and he died. Right? They caught that one. They caught him. They caught this boogie and nigga too. But guess what?
I gotta point something out. In the article I was reading from, they showed him in the suit they put people in when they're, on watch, when they're keeping an eye on them, like this.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtle suit.
Yeah, he's wearing the green outfit. He looks nuts. Like wearing that, he looks crazy. He looks like
most niggas. Most of these niggas that ain't all this black power, goddamn Afrocentric bullshit. Same shit. All right? And there's a reason I held off. I was like, yo, I'm not going to do this video yet. I did that shitty ass stream the other night, struggle screaming. 2 people was come up in the goddamn room and shit. Nobody's watching me. Shout out to all y'all witchcraft motherfuckers out there and shit. Y'all been rocking with me lately. Listen to the goddamn Witchfinder General. Ain't that some shit? All the witchcraft motherfuckers listening to the goddamn Witchfinder General. Got a witch, I'll burn their asses up. And they still fucking with me. I respect that. That's some real motherfucking shit right there. I don't get that kind of love from niggas. Right? So, this shit, nigga hit me to this shit. I'm like, well, goddamn, I knew it. And there it is. This motherfucker had all types of charges. Sex trafficking, child sex trafficking. And this nigga decided to take his goddamn truck that he put in his rap videos, right? And drive through the parade. Remember I said this shit the other day? I said, let a nigga have a terminal disease or some shit, right? I'm sitting up in this bitch right now with the goddamn coronavirus. You heard what I said. I'm sitting up in this bitch right now with the goddamn coronavirus. Y'all better be lucky I ain't no goddamn Hebrew Israelite. Y'all better be lucky. Y'all wouldn't know the things that have been running through my mind right now. I'll be damned with this goddamn bobite ass disease that the goddamn white man let come up in this motherfucker to give me this goddamn shit. I'll be damned if I go out from this goddamn shit alone. I've been out there, go to the goddamn police station or some shit. Like, listen in, crackers. There was a suspicious man walking through my goddamn there. They would have been like, why you didn't call and shit? No, because I want to talk to y'all motherfuckers up close and personal. I would have been blowing through that little glass window and shit. You know, that little slot and shit. I'll be spitting out my hand, grabbing the doorknobs and shit. I would have been took some with me, goddamn it. I'll be damned. Y'all better be lucky. Right? Y'all heard me. Y'all think I'm playing. Y'all think I'm playing. What up, Siberians? Said I called that shit so I saw his mugshot. No, you knew the Wishfinder General was about to get on this motherfucker as soon as you saw that mugshot, motherfucker. God damn it. Shit, I wish I had more alcohol and shit. So maybe I should lay off for a little bit and shit. Say some of that later. Right? Jasmine Fly. What's happening, Jasmine Fly? What you mean? What group claimed him? Ain't no group gonna claim him. What's that? When have you ever seen a cult claim one of their own when they do some fuck shit?
And that I said that. You know, I actually said a lot of the things early on, and that's one of them. I said all the groups are going to disavow this dude.
Yup. You all right? Look at Jasmine Fly. All right. I think you changed your avatar, Jasmine Fly. I know you've been up in here before.
Yeah. But yeah, all the groups are going to say that he was never a Hebrew Israelite. They're going to try to throw him under the bus.
Yep. The investigation is still on.
I actually said that when I mentioned Torah Nights, because I said if this had happened, when I was in Torah Nights, if this guy was in the group, it would have been nuts.
He would have been welcome. He would have been welcome in the group.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. And no one's even fucking more retarded. They done found some more white people in Torah Nights, Neggy. They got some more white people in Torah Nights now. Dumber than a motherfucker. Well, they can't add nothing. At least you was smart. They can add something to the shit. It wasn't accepted because he was white, but I still haven't done the video showing the reason why white people was in Torah Nights. I still haven't done that video yet. It's coming.
So there's more people. There's more white people in it now.
They got an old white hoe and shit from Boston, right? Got MS and shit. She probably crippled and crazy. Probably take more oxys than a motherfucker.
A literal cripple.
Yep. I don't know. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't say old girl in a wheelchair. I ain't gonna say that shit. But people that got MS, they eventually wind up like that. If I'm correct, am I right? I don't know.
It sounds correct, but you know, people who don't do anything when I was doing a whole bunch of stuff.
And Judah Nazareth said that was gonna be his wife. And so I say, God damn. You claim that Killer B said he'd rather have a white woman in a wheelchair than a black woman. I was like, well, goddamn, nigga. No, it's out for the suburbs, so that shit, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'll leave that to y'all imagination. Y'all see my behavior. So, and they got another white woman, dumb as a goddamn rock, date one of the SOJs, and I heard her stupid ass put a comment saying that she quit her job because they wouldn't give her the Sabbath off. I said, if this ain't no dumbass white woman shit, I don't know what is. I ain't never heard no stupid shit. White people just get that fucking retarded. To quit their goddamn job. Quit their goddamn job. Now, if you were in a real religion, the real religion would have gave you the paperwork to bring to the place of employment to say, hey, this is how we practice our religion. And the job would have gave her the time off. So since a cult is not an official religious system, so they're not gonna give you shit. They're gonna let you destroy your goddamn life. And you know what? This son of a bitch right here that ran over all the white people and shit. That ran over. I gotta put it like that. That just ran over all the white people. I ain't gonna put it no other way, but like that. They just ran the white folk over. Back in 2012, he put up a post saying, like, basically showing sympathy for the Newtown school shooting. I'm being from Connecticut and live near Newtown. I live right near Newtown. Hop, skip, and a jump from Newtown. How does nigga go from that to where he at right now? Watching them goddamn Hebrew Israelite videos. Look, just like Jordan Morgan.
And you know, this dude is probably all over the place in terms of what group he would watch. He would watch every little group he could get his hands on.
Yep. Say every religion is a cult. Stay away from all. No. Every religion ain't a cult. Every religion ain't a cult. Nope.
Yeah, you
every
can't
religion ain't a cult.
You can't paint them all with that brush.
Nope. No, you sure can't. There might be a hustle going on. There might be a hustle. Preacher man might love that money. Some of these motherfuckers get back to the community more than other motherfuckers. You can't find the Nation of Islam giving back like that. You can't find the goddamn Jehovah's Witnesses giving back like that. You can't find the goddamn the Wapians, the Hebrew Israelites, none of that shit giving back like some of these churches out there. The church that I grew up a member of, right? They getting that bread.
It's really funny because I mentioned Nation of Islam. They came up.
Yep. And the Nation of Islam is a kill you just as fast as any other cult. I didn't do the video yet. I just heard about it. I just remembered it now and shit. But Malcolm X's daughter was found dead up in the crib. Mysteriously. I saw that shit last night. I just remember it now. So I got to dig into that. See what happened with that shit. Right. But what's up, No Saint?
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yup.
What's going on, man?
Chilling. We got Jake Plant said Jesus is the great uniter. All right. Evangelicals give back. I don't know about all that shit. Those evangelical motherfuckers is kind of suspect and shit. Joel Osment, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, they're suspect.
Yeah, and Joel Osment, that name don't even sound right and shit. I'll never trust him.
Yeah, that's Smiley. You ever seen that guy? Joel, that's the guy that he has church at the Astro. Well, you don't know what the Astrodome is because you don't pay attention to football. It's an old stadium, but
damn sure enough don't.
Yeah. He owned. Well, it's an old. It was like one of the first domes in the United States, so it only seated about 50-something thousand, which is a lot. But his church was in there, so when that hurricane hit Houston, he wouldn't open up that church for the people that were out of the houses. He wouldn't
you mean Joel Osteen? Ain't that Joel Osteen?
Yeah, I think Osteen. Yeah, Smiley.
Yeah, Joel Osteen. I wouldn't have let them niggas in my church either. Joel Osteen a crook. He a crook. He bought that bread. Like I said, he'll teach you some shit and give you faith, but take your goddamn money too at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Joel Osteen ain't calling you if you skip church and shit. Joel Osteen ain't gonna call you up and say, where the fuck was you? Where's my tithes money? Right? But I wouldn't let them niggas in my shit either. To tear up my motherfucking shit. I wouldn't let them niggas in my shit either. But let's say no, Christianity is not a cult. It can become one. Now, this is something I was talking about last night. I was thinking about last night. I like you know, I'm fucking with all the witchcraft and cultist motherfuckers and shit right now, right? Now, a lot of them crazy as shit because Christianity fucked them over somehow, some way, right? Not Christianity, the members of the Christian church fucked them over somehow, some way, right? And they feel some type of way. I feel them, right? But most of these occultists don't know shit about the Bible and what's in it, right? Jesus ain't teach none of that shit. None of these motherfuckers was going around doing. Jesus ain't teach that shit. Jesus wasn't like, yo, round up all these niggas and put them in slavery. Jesus ain't say that. Jesus ain't teach that shit. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers will take shit and then turn it into a cult. And the same thing goes for America, right? The Constitution don't say none of this shit that going on in this motherfucking country. It's the people that's doing it. It's the people that's doing this shit. Right? I'm gonna play some shit tonight. I'm gonna play some shit today. Right? But how you gonna say and just get the name wrong, Jake Plant? You come in here making a big statement and shit, and then just get the name wrong and shit. Got it somewhere else. I don't understand that, Jake Plant. You gotta go back and regroup and shit, come back and shit. I don't know. But this shit here with this son of a bitch, he was a rapper, child sex trafficker. He shot at his own goddamn cousin over a goddamn cell phone. Right? Putting up memes supporting Hitler. Right? Saying Hitler did a great thing. And where that come from? That comes.
That's right.
Go ahead. What you said?
That's right.
That's right. You got it right. You watched the shit. It comes directly from the Hebrew Israelites. That way, if they can come directly from the Hebrew Israelites, that Hitler did a great thing. Hebrew Israelites support Adolf Hitler. For those y'all don't know, they believe he did a great thing. They said that he knew those people wasn't the real Jews, and that black people were the real Jews.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I did the video.
Yeah, they say, and somebody wrote a book or something and said that Hitler basically said the blacks were the real Jews in America. And blah, blah,
It's
blah.
false.
Right.
I already disproved that shit.
Right,
I did the video. I'll never do the video again because YouTube took the shit down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck all you niggas, Spicks and Po White trash, and the rest of y'all motherfuckers and shit that probably flagged my video to take that shit down.
Well,
so I'll never mention that motherfucking shit again. So if you believe that, I hope you do something and you die from it.
No, but the reason, I mean, it's like anything else. It's like today in today's world, when I hear somebody at my work says, and it doesn't have to be Joe Biden, it could be Trump, anybody. So-and-so said this, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Let me look this up. And of course, it's totally misquoted, right? So not only did that statement that supposedly Hitler said, it's like a soldier. It didn't document anybody. A soldier once said that. Da 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 da. Like no documentation, no receipts or nothing. Just
that's right. You right.
Ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
You right. And since when niggas is fluent in German?
Yeah.
I can only put that on the black soldiers that's stationed in Germany. That's it. If he ain't black, if he black and was stationed in Germany, I might listen what he got to say and shit over that shit. But other than that, some nigga over here in America living in the hood or some bullshit, no, I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Well,
I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't want to hear what Hitler said.
Most people, I think in the world, but especially in this country, are really just, they'll hear something and won't investigate, and they just believe what they hear, whether it's a misquote or not. They're not going to do the due diligence to find out anything, you know. So when you hear, like in that group that you're talking about, that, oh yeah, well Hitler said it, and they get it from, say, General Hyman or whatever his name is. They get it from him, and they're, oh, well, that's true. You know, they don't look it up.
Now, Jasmine Fly said
confirmation.
She said, I don't believe I've ever seen the HI support Adolf. You need receipts, brother.
Oh, I've seen
I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I was in the cult for over 2 goddamn decades. Jasmine Fly, how long have you been a practicing Hebrew Israelite? Or you believe that that's your nationality? Next to my over goddamn 2 decades. I learned from the motherfuckers that's teaching these motherfuckers is in the forefront. I learned from the motherfuckers that taught the motherfuckers you watch online.
one of the more popular videos was of that Jewish guy that was crying because he was.
My man.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to find for the show. I couldn't find that shit for nothing.
Yeah, I think
I couldn't find it for nothing.
Daily Mail or something.
It was the ISUPK Philadelphia camp. And he told it was the gay ISU, the captain Shakawar. I think that's his name, Shakawar, I believe. He the gay nigga and shit. He the motherfucking, you know he was gay and then they turned him straight. But he still got that gay vibe and shit. He still got that gay. Y'all know who I'm talking about and shit. The motherfucker fixed his mouth up all funny and shit. Yup. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
He's suppressing.
Yeah. Trying to lie to people and shit like he's straight. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking for that video. That's the video I was looking before I started. I'm glad you said that shit. Because he said it right up in that. So Jasmine Fly, you ain't been around for too long. But usually that's some shit you learn when you 10 toes down in the cult, an actual member, not an internet Israelite. Like 90-something% of the Israelites out there today, they internet Israelites. They just watch videos and shit and think all that shit true. Let your ass join the cult and see what they do to your ass. I might play the video a little later. I put the video. Maybe you watched it. Maybe you didn't understand when you watched it. With the woman talking to her husband and he telling her, you shut the fuck up because I run shit here. When I ask a question, you answer and you keep it moving. You don't run shit here. I run shit here. That's what you get when you join the Hebrew Israelite group. That's what you get. You shut your damn mouth. You shut your damn mouth. So if you claim to be a Hebrew Israelite, your ass ain't supposed to be talking in here. I love you because you come up in here and you listen to me. So that means you're out here listening to something. So you're taking something in, right? So I ain't gonna call you a boogie eater or none of that shit. I like it, right? I know you buck up. That's another Israelite term, bucking up. I know you buck up once in a while and shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember you. You're cool.
Sister,
I like
you out of order.
Sister Yall, exactly. See, got the white man up in here telling you this shit. My nationality is Hebrew. I do not follow any camp. But I don't even have to read the rest of this shit. No one should follow camp doctrine, but supporting Hitler does not even align with it. Yes, it does align with the goddamn camp doctrine. And we would love to see the video. I do video. Maybe somebody could pull it up while I'm over here talking. Right? Now, what you said, I don't follow any camp, right? But you believe that you a fucking Hebrew Israelite. Where did you learn that from? Answer the question. Where did you learn that from? You learned it from the goddamn camp. You didn't learn that shit from nowhere else. You didn't learn that shit from the white people. You didn't learn that shit from the goddamn books. You didn't learn that shit from the goddamn none of that shit. You learned that shit from the goddamn cult.
Give my time.
Watching this goddamn YouTube and shit.
Bring it on.
You ain't learn that shit from nowhere else. Where you learn you an Hebrew Israelite? Prove to me that you a Hebrew Israelite. If you pull goddamn Deuteronomy 28, guess what? You learned it from the goddamn cult. What up, Chris Harris? I'll let your whole ass up in here today and shit. I'll let your ass up in here today. What up, Chris Harris?
I don't know about
Talk
that
to
whole
me,
talk,
goddamn.
though. I don't know nothing about that whole
Goddamn,
talk, but what
you
up,
goddamn don't start that goddamn shit up in here. This is the Witchfinder General. You know how I get down. You should be happy you up in here. I graced your ass and shit. I graced your ass today.
You burning them up tonight, huh? You burning
You
them
know
up
I'm
today,
burning
huh?
them
You
up.
sick of this shit, ain't you?
I'm sick of it. I'm sick. Sick to my goddamn stomach.
Well, let me help you out. I'm
The
sick of you
liquor can't make me
niggas.
that sick. The liquor can't make me that goddamn sick. Go ahead, Chris Harris. What you got to say?
Yeah, well, I think you said it all. If they teaching anything pertaining to them being Hebrew Israelites, prior to that, they were just Christians. And there's nothing wrong with being a Christian. You teach Deuteronomy 28, that's camp doctrine, because that has
Yeah,
nothing to
thank
do
you.
with you. You teach
Thank you.
anything pertaining to any prophet and your ideal of your identity, that's Deuteronomy 28 / camp doctrine. You
Thank
teach any of that shit where you run to Bible verses to try and prove who you are, that is camp doctrine. There's
you.
no
Yup.
way around that shit. Me, B, Negi, I don't know who the Jesus guy up here is, but guess what? We was all in the camp. We was all the Torah Knights. We taught all that shit. That shit fake. It's fake.
Faking
Let
it
it
a
go.
$7 bill. Faking
Ain't
it a
no such
$7
thing.
bill.
It's not real. You teach black Jesus. That's camp doctrine. You teach black Israelites. That's camp doctrine. You teach King David coming back. That's camp doctrine. You talking about killing
I
white
lost sound.
folks.
I'll be right back.
That's camp
Yep.
doctrine. All that shit is camp doctrine. It's camp doctrine because they teach hate. Bottom goddamn line. Stop playing.
That's right.
I just want to line all these camps up, and I just want to grab an M16 and just and get rid of all these crazy sick motherfuckers.
Now she said she learned from a white man that you an Israelite. That cracker in your goddamn head again. That's a
B.
lie. You're
Hold on,
lying here lying, man.
no, give it to her. Well, guess what? He learned that shit from camp
There you
doctrine.
go.
By the
There you
goddamn
go.
line.
There you go.
And the fact that you saying you learned it from a white man, meaning you hugging his nuts too. So stop that bullshit. Wake your ass up. We was running around in mud huts. We was running around with fig leaves on us. And we was Africans in the Congo and on the west coast of Africa.
That's
When we
right.
got brought over here, bottom goddamn line.
Yep. Ass
Embrace
naked.
that shit.
Ass
Embrace
naked.
it.
Ass naked.
Nothing
Didn't have
wrong
no
with it.
language. The what?
Shut that shit.
They ain't had no goddamn. They ain't know what the goddamn will was.
Stop that, B.
You know where you at. You know what house you in. They know what the goddamn will was. How you Israelites and go back in time, go backwards. The Israelites wore linen. The Israelites wore clothes. The sub-Saharan African wasn't making clothes to one goddamn AD. So how you was in the temple wearing that goddamn shit? You wasn't. Talking about you learn from the white man. Don't come up and hear that bullshit. You know we know better than that. And you yellow than a motherfucker. You ain't black. You yellow than a motherfucker up in this motherfucker.
Hold on. And let me break that Hebrew word down for you. There's no such thing as a Hebrew. Once you look that up, that shit is a verb. Hebrew means to cross over. That was referring to people from the Hebrew culture, what was in fact Sumerian. The H and the E came with the...
Your ass cut out, nigga. But look at her face, her avatar right there. Yellow than a motherfucker and shit. Look like the niggas, the babies niggas make out here where I live, in the suburbs and shit. We get white women We good clean white women and shit to make babies and shit. All our babies come out looking like you. That's right. All our babies coming out. Now look at No Saint right there, and look at her avatar right there. Now tell me you a goddamn black Hebrew Israelite. How that happened?
Hey, I put a link in the YouTube of that video.
Ooh shit! Ooh shit! Where that? I'm looking for it. You ain't put shit
It's
up.
under my name. No, it's under my name. You'll see just something about Daily Mon. I think it's Daily Mail or Daily Mon or something like that. It's I had to post it and then come back in. I couldn't just
Where the fuck you posted? I don't see that shit.
In the chat. And not in this chat, not in the StreamYard chat,
No.
in the YouTube
Put it in this motherfucker. Put it in the private chat.
I'll try because every time I go, I can't. Okay, I'll try.
Because I think I got links blocked on my shit.
Let me try.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can see that shit. You say you put it up in the
YouTube, the YouTube chat.
Let me see here. Talking about they ain't no goddamn doctrine. I ain't never heard that shit. Because you've been on the internet with that shit. Like I said, Jackson, I love you. Now, don't think we ain't never turned up on your ass before, because I remember turning up on your ass before. Nah, dude, I don't see that shit.
All right, I'll try to find it and put it on the back chat. It's just last time I did it, I couldn't get the sound to come back on and I had to get out. And to get back in, I had to copy and paste. I'll put it in this one, though. Don't worry, I'll put it in this one. Give me a second.
All these niggas out here is bowing down to this Hebrew Israelite doctrine. What did I did? Me and Nagy did the video with Kanye West the other goddamn day. And what did I say? What this nigga was out there to do? He got all that money and gonna sit there while his kids going to private school. His kids ain't gonna be out there on the street corner teaching no goddamn Hebrew Israelite shit.
And it's just like what I said, if you remember. I said how, this is just going to make more people get into it.
As long as you've been here, Jasmine Fly, you should have learned. What up, Nicosi and shit? I just saw you up in here. What up, Siberia? Joshua Melton. It was from the Daily Mail. I saw the article earlier today. Tim Pool, mentioned it. It was from, I don't think you know what we talking about, Joshua Melton. I don't know. Maybe you do. Shit, I don't know. All right, he put it up in the private chat. All right, let me look. We can play this son of a bitch.
Be right back.
Yup, we gonna play this son of a bitch.
Yeah, Daily Mail.
Bitch right here.
I knew the Daily Mail would jump on this. They love this stuff.
Oh, the Daily Mail?
Yeah, Daily Mail.
Oh, shit, they goddamn the summer. Oh, it was from 7 years ago. I thought them niggas was on that shit. Whoa, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. See? You done talk too soon. Jasmine Fly. Like I said, you're fly and shit. You're light skin. I like light skin. This shit is the black. God damn it. But so, shit. Hold on. That's right. I said it. Where Chris Harris go and shit? Chris Harris was like, Killer B on some shit today. Let me leave this nigga alone.
He jumped off like I normally do.
Yup. All right, here we go. Here, wait, is that it? What the fuck this motherfucking shit at? All right, there we go. Here you go, Jasmine Fly. On your ass now, Jasmine Fly. The motherfucker play, goddammit. What the fuck?
I'm Jewish. I'm on my ancestors.
You ain't never been a Jew. You ain't never been a Jew.
I'm Jewish.
How about you all you're not a Jew?
Yes, I am. You a child. First of all, you a child of the Cossack Empire. That's right. You a child of the Cossack Empire, number one. You the same white man. You ain't no different from a white American. You're no different from a white.
Khazar Empire. That's another goddamn myth and shit. Y'all niggas that go out there and buy that stupid ass book, the what's the name of that shit? The 13th tribe. I brought that shit. Shout out to my homeboy Jason Grant. Cause he came to my house and I tried to kick that shit to him, and he read the first goddamn page of the book, and the book itself said that shit was some bullshit. Said the shit wasn't true. Had me sit up in the house looking stupid. You made a good goddamn $12, $15 on that book. Trash.
You from the Khazar Empire. You ain't never been a Jew. That's right. The scripture said Israelites are not white. Israelites are not white. You know nothing about Jacob. Let me show you what Christ got. I got to deal with him right now. You made about 6 million crackers that another cracker killed. Let me see. Let me show you what Christ said about you. I'll give you a quick lesson. Adonic Galed. Rascalet, you are not the Jew. You are a red Yall.
I love when Hebrew Israelites and shit don't know no goddamn Hebrew, but it's knowing little words and shit they can put together and shit to say to some Jewish people and shit.
What you are a child of the Khazar Empire. That's right. Your father know more of your history than you do. The scriptures say your fathers inherited lies, and they taught you lies. You walk around the earth thinking that you're Jewish. You know what Jewish means? Even the IS on Jewish show you're not a Jew, dumb. If my garment is black, Jewish. Now if I get another garment that's blackish, it ain't black no more. It's blackish. It's kind of like being black, almost black, but not quite black. That's why your people even call yourself Jewish. You're a wannabe. That's right. That's right. That's right. You wish you were a Jew. To be a Jew, you gotta be born a Jew. You gotta be one of the children of Judah to be a Jew. But these dumb bastards. They are not Jewish religion. You can't join. They made up a religion and called it Judaism. That's no such thing.
Judaism. Learn how to speak, man.
Judaism. There's no such thing. It's a man-made religion that was created off of the race of black people, man. Black people are born Jew. What is it to be a Jew? What does it mean to be a Jew?
Oh, there's so much.
Where does the term go from? The term.
First of all, the beginning. Okay, I will tell you.
Where does it come from?
Listen, I want you to listen.
You all
let me talk, sir. Let me talk. This is so one-sided.
The tribe of Judah.
Hurry up, Cherry Love. Turn these people on to Jesus and shit before I direct them over here and turn them on to goddamn Lucifer or some shit.
That's where the term Jew comes from. That's right. It's short for Judah.
Yeah,
white Jewish people don't even know that.
Yes,
you ask them, you ask a white person what makes you Jewish, they're going to tell you because my daddy was Jewish, because my mommy was Jewish. Well, because I fought the Israeli war. We didn't heard it all. But never do they prove that they are born Jews.
That's not a war.
I'm going to show you about the born Jews. I'm going to show you about the real Jews.
Nothing about
according to the district. They run the banks of America.
Can I tell you?
They got armies and jets. They fight when
hey, you peep what they doing? You see how they do it?
What do you say?
You see how they do that? You see how they do that? You see how they do that? They say they start gish galloping, talking all that bullshit, and then they say, "I'm gonna show you the real Jew according to the Bible." Right? And then they go read some curses. But see, what people don't understand is those curses, Deuteronomy 28, all of Deuteronomy 28, and all of the book of Deuteronomy, first of all, was not written by Moses. Second of all, it fits every other treaty, Suzerain treaty, Assyrian vassal treaty, Babylonian treaty, Persian treaty, when they were placing people into certain lands on what they were going to do and how they were going to act in these lands, according to the king, the real true king, which was Nebuchadnezzar, which was Darius, Artaxerxes, so on, etc. The priest would just say, Yahweh said it. You understand? Because the people were illiterate. The people depended on the priests to learn how to read. See, these things ain't real. These guys, they too are indoctrinated with a bunch of bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? And now many people think,
hit the goddamn like button and hit my goddamn cash app and shit. Like your mama told you to. And shit. Because Killer B the only one giving you this motherfucking shit. Raw and goddamn uncut and shit. Goddamn it. I'm the hottest shit on this motherfucker. Hit the goddamn cash app. Hit the goddamn like button. Hit the goddamn subscribe goddamn shit. Who giving it to you like me?
Hit the goddamn like button, goddamn it.
Who is it like me? And I ain't forget my goddamn supporters shout out yet. I'm gonna get fuck it. I'm gonna do it right now. Sister P, Brainstorm Homeschool Academy, Nagy Springfield, Siberians and Sleeping Serpent, Josh, goddamn Myron Edwards, motherfucking Yasu, goddamn Victor Always, my main man Sam Miguel TV, and goddamn Sahara Jr., goddamn it. And Bill Hill, motherfucker. Bill Hill ain't fucking with me, but I'm still shouting the some bitch out and shit. Let's go. Goddamn it, play, motherfucker.
Jews are in morning. You ain't in morning. What the hell? 6 million who the Holocaust.
Are you saying the Holocaust is a joke?
It's a joke.
That's right.
That's right.
Don't you
The Holocaust is a damn joke. The Holocaust is a joke. Hitler, you had crowd, white boy. Heil Hitler. You don't understand nothing. Please don't do it. You ain't been doing damn shit. Black people have been through it. That's right.
Jasmine Fly, what the nigga just said? He said, "Hail Hitler." What the nigga just said? You try to pull my card and shit and lay my cards down on the goddamn table. Somebody,
That's right. Hitler put your sticky behind because you said you were the black people. He hurt you in others. He hurt you in those others because you wanted to be niggas. That's why. And he did so in others. He hurt your damn. That's right. All right. That he burnt your nasty behind. You was robbing the Germans. You was taking all the Germans' money. The Germans were suffering so hard. You was oppressing the Germans. You was oppressing them. And God let them burn you to hell up. The hell with the Harlem, 6 million people. How about 99 million black people? How about that? Can we be sad for 99 million black people? Can we be upset with 99 million black people? Who gives a damn about 6 million? And
you want to kill more people?
Oh, they burned us in
What's
the
wrong
oven.
with you? Why do you want more hate?
What you got? Judah mourning. The real Jews would be in mourning. They wouldn't be jokes like this Khazar baby. They wouldn't be jokes like this cat crying over some Holocaust. The real Holocaust is on these slave ships. That's right. The real Holocaust. A real Holocaust is 77 million North American Indians, man. God don't care about these.
see? And what the hell are you talking about? Goddamn, where we at? Jake playing. You say you did it and shit, but you get. How the hell you doing this shit and didn't do it and shit? I ain't hear my shit go. You know how to cash
Je
out.
me dis qu'on ne peut pas bâtir une société très forte avec autant d'enfants de la rue. Parce que dans la rue, il n'y a pas d'encadrement, il n'y a pas d'éducation.
You know where you from up out here talking that shit. All right. So, no, I keep it funky and shit. I keep it real. Since Cherry, you know you come up in here, spread the gospel and stuff. No, I don't need to go sit with Sinetter funky ass and shit. And now that you mentioned Sinetter funky ass and shit, I'm gonna mention goddamn French Dose. Nigga, you call me a nigga and you're gonna invite me to your motherfucking private parts and shit. I'm tired of y'all off-brand wannabe black people and shit, acting like you on YouTube, acting like you talking for fucking black people and shit. When you got a goddamn, you not black, motherfucking French Dose. Let me explain something to you. You're not fucking black. You're Dominican. The Dominicans I know is some of the racist motherfuckers I know. They'll call you nigga before the white man call you nigga. The Dominicans will call you a nigga to your goddamn face before the white man will call you a goddamn nigga to your goddamn face. So I was nice to your ass. I shot your ass out. I respect you on the platform, but you showed your drug addict ass last night. You showed your junkie ass last night. Sit here fronting, scared because you can't talk like a regular motherfucker because you're high. Because you're high, nigga. You're high, and I'm calling you a nigga. Do the statistic. Go look at the goddamn demographics. How many of you Dominican motherfuckers is black? You niggas recognize yourself as white. If you consider yourself black, when you have a party, I want to see some Georgia hots. I want to see some hog-head cheese on the crackers. When you have a party at your house, you got a Rosa Gondolas and empanadas, motherfucker. You is not black. So get your ass over YouTube, acting like you speaking for black people, just like Sonetta and Dominican ass do. And shout out to all the real Dominican motherfuckers that recognize it's real. That's what I got to say, goddammit. Sister, I listen to what Sister Terry got to say. Hold on. I curved my cussing for a second. Brother Killer, I would love to challenge Miss Jasmine Fly on her lie on your channel. I know you would. She won't come up on here, though. She a noob. And Jesus is the Savior, Chris Harris. I don't know where you been. Jasmine said, we were enslaved. No, you wasn't enslaved under Christianity. You was enslaved to a bunch of redneck crackers. That was you was enslaved under.
That's right.
Oh, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Remember when French Dose came on your channel and I called him French Doozy and all that?
I thought about that this morning. I said I should let Nagy just run his ass over like this nigga did them white people. Go ahead, Nagy.
That was pretty good, but you know, I don't really need to say much else. The guy seems to have done it himself.
Yup. Angry Snowman. I clicked on the shit, didn't even read it, and the nigga talk about French Dose. Fuck that mother. He the most retardedest ass nigga I know. Have me on the show. I'm sitting there telling the truth. The nigga high out of his goddamn gourd like he ain't co-edited.
Oh yeah. Oh, guess what? Let me drop this on you. That French Dose dude, he's possibly a white beater.
Yeah. I know. He done fucked up now and shit. He done fucked up now. He gonna catch the vapors. But he not that important. He not that important and shit. Like he low lying fruit. He easy. He low lying fruit.
Just another jailbird.
Yup. Stay high, nigga. Stay high. Stay high. All right, what we got up on here? Stop here and say no cussing, nigga. Miss Cherry in the house. Whenever they talk about Christopher Columbus, they insulting Latino peeps and shit. Yeah, the motherfuckers be out here fronting and shit. But what I wanted to say to all the white people out there, I got a video to play for y'all and shit. It's almost like the one I just played. Oh shit! Which one? Wait, you the one that said I was spanking on that running the stop signs? Because there's two of them. There's two trailer hoods, I believe. There's a white trailer hood and there's a black trailer hood. Both of y'all asses from South Carolina and shit. Both of y'all my boys, though. I fucked with y'all. I'm gonna get on your ass and shit with all that militia coach shit, though. I'm gonna get on your asses with that shit. But you my boy though. Yeah, let me get to this shit. What the motherfucker at? Goddamn, what the fuck I do with this shit? What's the bitch? Hold on. All right. I got it. And pull this thing up here. Let me listen. This is why niggas is mad in America. Right? What the fuck is that? This random shit playing on my shit. All right, ISUPK. Well, goddamn, shut the fuck up. Lockdown 23 and 1 and shit. Shout out to Lockdown 23 and 1. All right. Okay, ISUPK. Okay, white Jew. I'm gonna show y'all. All right, now where the shit, motherfucker. Sorry, Sister Cherry and shit. I'm in my moment and shit right now. Goddamn. Nah, I saw that shit. Wait, hold on. Fuck it. All right, we do this. Do it like this. All right, it should be here. Come on. That video came up like a zillion times. Here it goes, right here. I want white America to look at it. All right, here we go. I want white America to listen to this. White America, listen up. This is why these niggas is joining this shit.
Are you gonna put it up?
Shit, I took the shit down. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Listen to white America.
I just want to know, how much do you love your country?
What's your nationality?
I'm confused.
By wearing this one.
So what my nationality is? So what color all y'all are?
Right. Let me explain. Let me help you understand.
I defend it.
I know.
I love all of you.
At one time, Jewish people lived in Germany. You understand that, right?
I'm German as well.
I know. At one time, Jewish. That's why I asked you your nationality. At one time, Jewish people lived in Germany, didn't they?
Did they?
And during World War I, they fought for Germany. They loved Germany. Really? Until one day, Adolf Hitler began to exterminate.
That's that gay nigga and shit. I'll talk about that. Said ISUPK. Sit there front and lying to the people and shit.
And then they turned on their country and went for a land of their own. Well, this is what you have to understand. We have served this stinking country. There's nobody more patriotic than black.
That's right.
People. We're the people that die in your wars, build your cities, and raise your children, and bleed in all of your wars.
That's right.
And reap none of the benefits. There is nobody more patriotic than us. There is nobody that has served America more than us. Until one day we found out that this is the land of
that's the bullshit.
This is not our homeland. So we decided to go find our own land. So we decided to go find the land of our ancestors, just like the Jewish people did in Germany. And know what the problem with white people is? You don't respect anybody's humanity except for your own. You don't respect anybody's pain except for your own. You expect Jewish people to hate Hitler and to hate the Nazis, but you can't understand.
Killer B on some shit.
And why we should hate you. You can't understand that because you're not human.
White folk like, wait a minute, Killer B, what you talking about?
and you're cruel and you're selfish. And if you had any love and compassion in your heart, you would know how much you deserve to be hated. If you had any love in your heart, you white people are merciless. And you hate to look at anybody as a human being. How dare you ask us? Have we loved America? We have loved you forever, and you have always hated us. We have loved you consistently for 400 years. We prayed to that white Jesus, and we saluted your flag, and we died in your militaries, and you beat us like dogs. How dare you ask us, have we loved you? I have a question for you. When in the hell have you ever loved anybody but yourself? Give me Ezekiel 35. I'm looking you square in your eye and telling you this, that you are completely cruel. And you know why your heart is broke? Because I'm telling you the truth for the first time in your life. Your whole life you thought that you've been compassionate and caring, but meanwhile, you know what you are? Just another white girl standing on stolen ground, reaping the benefits of bloody fathers. That's what you are. Even though you think you're so liberal and so kind, all you are is another child benefiting off the murder of your father. That is who you really are. And you should face it. And you should fall on your knees and beg repentance for your evil, cruel, corrupt, selfish life that you've lived here on the bones of the North American Indian, on the bones of the slaves, on the bones of the Puerto Ricans, on the bones of the Mexicans, on the bones of all the poor people that your father murdered so you could go to college and so you could get drunk and high and have a good time. Your father had to murder for that privilege. You understand?
Well, you get drunk and high.
That, don't you? Your mother had to kill. Your grandfather had to steal so you could live like Pamela Anderson in America.
Let me rephrase that. So you can have the house to live in to get drunk and high and shit, so the police can't roll up on your ass and shit. You got a place to do it so the police can't see you getting high.
Ezekiel 35. That's the truth. I'm showing you love. That's love. I'm telling you the truth. Ain't that real love? That what?
You hear that? That right there. That right there. That's the public service announcement that get these niggas to join that shit. That's what gets the people to join the Hebrew Israelites.
Like, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Listen, you know how I feel about the Hebrew Israelites, but I mean, there is something to be said for what he's saying. I'm not saying he's being tactful about it, but there is a lot of benefits that she takes for granted, and it is off of. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about the past and what it has got me now. I mean, that right. goes. You can go through anybody's all over the world that happens. You go to China and there's people that are getting screwed over there and have been screwed over there, right? So I mean, if you can take his position, if you can just take the message out of what he's saying and not be. Does she know that? Does she know that she has benefited from things that, you know, I mean, like the Native Americans being exterminated, basically? I mean, he's got a point. It's just, I don't think he's saying it for her benefit. He's saying it for, like you're saying, it's almost like a recruiting tool.
Right. Now, I played that for white America to take that in. That is what is making African Americans here in this country gravitate towards that shit.
Yeah.
So now I'm not saying the government, I'm saying the people. Because the Constitution and shit don't fly with none of that bullshit. It's the people. It's the people that's doing it. You know what I mean? And people have to realize, okay, the mindset that you putting on these people. So when, all right, let's go back to current events. I've been doing my videos lately on Daniel Hussein, the man who consulted with EA Co-Editing to do a ritual onto Lucifuge, the deity Lucifuge, to gain fame and fortune. And in his pledge, he told Lucifuge that I will sacrifice six women.
I saw that the other day.
Yep, I will sacrifice 6 women, right? For you and for fame and fortune. Now, his first victims, as far as we know,
Britain, right? This is over in England.
Right, over in London. He killed 2 sisters, 2 black women. 2 black women. And the mother asked authorities that, hey, my children are missing. They didn't take it into consideration. And when they found the 2 women, right, the police officers took selfies with the dead bodies.
Yeah. Dead birds.
I just found that out. I didn't know that.
I just saw it I think yesterday, the day before. I saw the whole video on it.
2 police officers took selfies with the dead bodies. So not only the mother feel that the police, the authorities didn't jump into jump on the situation to look for her daughters. Now, this is a woman that lost 2 daughters. Usually you hear a murder or some shit, the victim parents and shit lost 1 kid. Right. Not 2. Lost 2. 2. And then had to find out that the police was making mockery of it and taking pictures of the dead bodies, playing, laughing, and joking. Now, not only was that a wicked thing that they did first, but second, it could have compromised the case. It could have messed up evidence. You know how they do the crime scenes and all that shit. It could have done something to the crime scene where this man could get off. Because of those police actions. So I'm not saying the London police office, the London police say that that's okay. The rules, regulations, and the laws and all that shit over there, I'm not saying that it condoned that type of behavior. I'm not saying that. But it's the individuals that was hired by the government to protect the people, to enforce the law, to investigate and make sure everything is kosher. Right? And that same type of shit is going over here in America. Now, I'm not putting all the blame on the police department that's out here shooting black motherfuckers and shit, right? Some of these motherfuckers, I'll shoot them motherfuckers if I was a goddamn cop. I'll be the first to say it. I'll be like, I'll shoot these son of bitches and go home to my wife and kids before I be a victim to these motherfuckers. Right? So it's something that the people have to get their mind right. And what I mentioned earlier when I first started the show, about this chick and her kid went to school and where all the black kids didn't like the verdict with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, right? And this young girl, 14 years old, had enough sense to see what was going on. And not only that, she didn't speak. She didn't do the presentation, for lack of better words and shit, my ass drinking. So she wasn't ratchet with the shit. She didn't come out and just say a bunch of low-level words and shit like that. She was very articulate. This girl is taking college courses. This woman that I know, her kids is taking college courses in high school. She got one child, right, that she sent him to a private school, had to drive his ass an hour and a half every morning to go to this private school. The young man went there. He used to the public school. He wearing his Jordans, got the Gucci belt and all that stuff. And the boy noticed right away when he went to that private school that the kids in the private school didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. The kid went to private school and looking at the kids and like, what, you ain't got no J's? Like, what the fuck is you wearing? And shit. Oh, these motherfuckers dressing like bums and shit. No. Those kids don't give a fuck about that shit. Those kids give a fuck about their education. They go in there and they give a fuck about their education. Those kids is going to school talking about what book they reading. They talking about current events on the news. That don't go on in the public school. And the public school is all about your swag, what you wearing. You got the latest gear. You got the latest Jordans and shit that just came out. That's what they worried about. So this kid had a culture shock, and he became the person that was not basically almost, I guess you could say, picked on or looked at like he fucking crazy, like something wrong with him. To the point where these kids, they don't worry about the things that he worrying about. They're not thinking about the things that he thinking about. And the kids saw that and started to get feeling some type of way. Like, Ma, they looking at me like I'm retarded and shit. So the kid started to learn. And he ended up going back to private school. And when he went back to private school, he started to see the difference. How his friends from private school act, how they act, and how those kids at the kids at the public school act. He started to see the difference between them and the kids at the private school. And his grades increased. He started thinking about more important things. He started watching the news. When I was in high school, I wasn't thinking about no goddamn news. That's the last thing I'm turning on the TV is the goddamn news. But he saw these kids that are worried about their education. They wearing some cheap, maybe some shoes from the department store, from Walmart or some shit, right? And they are worried about their education rather than the way they look. So I'm just saying it's the mentality of American citizens that need to change. And some of this shit is changing. A lot of the way this whole 1950, 60 way of thinking and shit, the racism and all that shit, right? that shit weed in the fuck is way the fuck out. That's just weeding his way the fuck out. So if we keep these people, now I talked about how black people have been indoctrinated through hip hop music, through Afrocentrism, the Black Power movement, and all that shit. They've been indoctrinated. And the shit is attached to cults. So you're getting people that are saying, oh, well, the white man did all of this. The white man did this. The white man put drugs in the community. The white man ain't tell your ass to smoke no motherfucking crack. The white man didn't put no gun in your head and tell you to smoke crack. The white man ain't put no gun in your head and tell you to sell crack. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Now, it's the same type of thing that a lot of white people look at black people and say they crazy and shit. Like I said, it's the music and the culture, this false culture that's being created, and black people are tying themselves to it. Even black people that's not ghetto, conservative black people, they might say, oh yeah, the white man put crack in the goddamn neighborhood and shit, but they heard that shit through the grapevine on some shit on TV or through some rap song, or look at Kanye West. Like me and Nagy did a video on Kanye West talking about, oh, black people are Israelites and shit. We the goddamn Israelites. So I said, now people that listen to Kanye West, broke motherfuckers, ghetto niggas ain't listening to Kanye West. The college kids is listening to Kanye West. The church going people that listen to Kanye West. Your good black citizens are listening to it. Now they hear this motherfucker say that dumbass shit, and what they gonna do? They're gonna go Google Hebrew Israelites. It ain't gonna be Kanye West telling them about that shit. Know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be ISUPK gonna pop up in the fucking feed. GOCC gonna pop up in the feed. GMS gonna pop up in the feed. That's what's gonna pop up in the feed. And you get the good black people, the good old black people, right? It's gonna fall into that shit. Oh, we're the real Jews. Oh, they're lying to us. And start to take that mentality and bring it into their shit. They might not join ISUPK. They might have enough sense not to join the cult. But the cult ideology, just like Jasmine Fly, I ain't part of no camp. I ain't learned nothing from no camp. I'm an Israelite. Black peoples is the real Jews. Where'd you get it? Where you get it at? Where you get it at? Jasmine Fly, you saying categorizing Hebrew Israelites with campites is no different than categorizing Christians with no. That's a totally different thing. Hebrew Israelites is the campites. You can't have Hebrew Israelite without the camp. And number one, camp is a new term. That's a new term. Camp was only, back in the day when I learned, a camp was where they teach at. That's what the camp was. That's why they stand in formation. When you see the teacher and the reader, and you see two brothers on the right side and the left side, that's the camp. The group is not called a camp. The camp is where you teach. It's only from 2012 where motherfuckers are saying the whole group is a camp. So you need to go check your history. You need to learn your Hebrew Israelite history.
So,
like I said, I was in this shit for over 2 goddamn decades. You're not gonna tell me nothing about this shit. I learned from the motherfuckers that made this shit up that you sitting there learning and accepting. I learned at the feet of these motherfuckers. I said at the feet of these son of bitches that taught this bullshit. And guess what? If you go to one of these motherfuckers and say, well, I don't really believe this anymore. And know they're going to tell you, well, you a goddamn Edomite. You probably a goddamn Edomite anyway. Look at you. Look at you. That's what they're going to tell you. Look at you.
So I got a question. So as far as for Jasmine Fly.
Yeah, you come on, man.
Yeah.
So Cozy?
My question is, first of all, if she's not a part of any camp, does she go to a church? And if so, what is that church? And secondly, chances are, because unless you're in the New York area, you probably never heard of this until YouTube started broadcasting all these videos. I'm assuming, but you could correct me if I'm wrong, because certainly I'd never heard of it until YouTube. I had no clue that there was these groups out of New York. And now just about everybody knows about these groups. It's growing because of YouTube. So
yeah,
that would be my question: is like what congregation, if any, do you belong to?
She a rebel. She what they would call a rebel, and what I would call an internet Israelite. It is somebody that run around, that live their life the way they live it, and watch YouTube and pick and choose what they want to listen to, what they want to believe. They sit there and pick and choose. So they're not a part of no organization. They say, okay, I listen to these videos because they said it's all right to smoke weed, and I like to smoke weed. So I'm gonna do this. Or this group said I could be with I could have a white husband or a white wife. This group will accept me, so I'm gonna listen to their videos.
What's his name? The one in Tennessee, Dawson. Is it Dawson?
They got one. I saw that shit. I was just like blown away. They got a big booger eating nigga with a bunch of white people following this motherfucker in subjection. Like, the black people are the real Jews, so we up underneath these niggas and shit, and we're gonna follow the Most High. We're gonna learn the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High for these fucking niggas.
Yeah, there's that group in Tennessee. I don't know, something with a Dawson or something like that. Pastor Darrell.
Oh, Pastor Darrell. That's a good example right there.
Yeah.
He's ex-military, right? And he adopted that whole shit, swagger jacked the shit. He learned it from the goddamn cult. But had enough money and had enough sense to get white people down with it. But the white people, they're not allowed to teach. They got to learn from him. The white people in this group got to learn from him.
That's a great way of putting it. So basically, you have the super ISUPK, and then you get to Pastor Dow, which is okay. Like, I know they got that, football player, the ex-football player that goes to that church. They got quite a few different ones. Anyway, like he took it and made it less extreme to gather and to me more acceptable to some of the other, even some of the black people who said, well, I'm not down with this group because I don't like the way they are, talk in that sense. You know what I mean? So it was almost a reverse of the church I told you about, the church I went to, where everybody was welcome, but yeah, there was like some people were Gentiles and some people were the Israelites.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Killer B, brother. Why you gonna hate on the booger eaters, man? They're people too, bro.
Yo, that's it is what it is. And they can come on here, they can hit that link too and deal with me.
You dealt with one last night, man.
Yeah, I did. What? I ain't gonna lie last night, did I? No, I ain't gonna lie last night.
No, I'm talking about when you was on Dose's stream. I was just catching up on some of that.
Oh, you was on that shit. Oh, you was on that. You see that dumbass shit? That nigga was high out of his fucking gourd.
Yeah,
he was high out of his fucking mind.
I'm banned from his chat, from his panel, from everything, man. He won't talk to me.
Yeah, he retarded as fuck. A drug addict sitting there talking about I'm smart. I ain't dumb. I'm smart. No, you dumb as fuck.
Everything he talks
and
about
is nice
things you heard other people talk about.
Know what I'm saying? He don't understand that. Like, I think you're a fucking idiot, but I'm nice to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you allow me on your shit or whatever.
I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, motherfucker, and you're fucking it up.
Yeah.
Nah, brother, I just wanted to come up and see how you've been doing, brother. Wish you a happy Thanksgiving and all that shit. I ain't talked to you. I ain't seen you live in about a month or so, man.
You the same. And I don't feel that Hispanic saying the N-word shit. I don't feel that shit at all.
Hey, dude, I've been giving that dude shit since day one about how he drops that N-bomb left and right, man. Because I looked at him one day, I said, dude, you're whiter than I am.
Yup.
That's like
Sure enough with, I know white people that I fuck with ain't never said that shit. Ain't never said the N-word. I mean, you could be listening to a song and you listening to the song, they ain't gonna say that shit. And I know these motherfuckers since we was kids.
Hey, bro,
I'm never said the N-word out of his mouth one goddamn time. And here go this motherfucker dropping the shit like it's nothing.
I ain't even gonna cap, dude. I've said it multiple times around my black brothers and homies and friends and shit, man. It's just that's how it was.
And it's something, it's an age thing too. Like when I started hanging out in New York City, I started hanging with a bunch of white kids, Hispanic kids, and they use that shit. And it's like they using that shit amongst themselves. Like they can never be around somebody black, and they using that shit amongst themselves.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? And then a lot of motherfuckers say that shit to see if they could get away with it.
Yeah. Nah, man, for me it was just I hung around so many people that was part of the culture and heard it so much it just started becoming part of the vernacular.
But out here, like where I grew up at and shit, like they didn't say that shit. Like you might see some younger white kids or something like that, or Hispanics say that shit, but now, like young motherfuckers that's in their 20s and shit. I'm 46 years old.
Yeah, I'm 42, man.
Know what I'm saying? I'm 46 years old. All the white people I went to school with, I ain't never heard them say that shit, ever. And if they say it, they saying it the way you supposed to say it.
Right. Not with the hard R, man.
No, they say nigger. If they say it, they saying that. They not saying no shit like, know what I mean? They not using that shit like that. White people I grew up like Willie Grits. Willie Grits hood as fuck. All Willie Grits friends ever was black. Willie Grits, he rest in peace. He passed away almost a year now, right? And I ain't never heard that shit ever come out of Willie Grits' mouth, ever.
Hey, that's like that. Well, that's like that Mike Hood, man. Whitest dude you'll ever see from South Carolina, but sounds like he's straight out the hood, man.
Yeah, but like, know what I'm saying? I'm not cologne out. I'm for goddamn suburbs. I don't give a fuck about none of that hood shit. Right. But you know, this motherfuckers out here and shit. Like it's the whole hip hop culture shit, whatever the fuck. But I can say this: I ain't never heard Willie Grits ever say that word, ever. Whether it's the hard R or however you put it, I ain't never heard that shit ever come out of his mouth once.
I think it might be a difference in where you're from too, because like I said, I'm not even going to bullshit. You know, me and I hung around with a lot of black dudes, man, and one of my best friends who was in my wedding, man. You know, that's how we address each other is with the N-bomb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it might be just like you said, because I grew up and I had many friends that were black, and I never would use. And I could say in my lifetime, and it would be before I was the age of 20. You could count it on a handful of fingers on maybe how many times I'd ever said that. And it's just not part of my vocabulary. And I'm not, and I'll never understand why people have a problem when black people say that white people can't say that. Like some people wanted to see, well, why can't? It's okay for you to say it. Why can't I say it?
And like I'll be on the train
so common.
or the bus or something, and I see a bunch of Hispanics. They using that shit. They saying nigger, and they yapping the way it's the way they saying it.
You know what I mean? What they talk, Gilbert. That's what they talk, though, man.
No. They saying it. They saying it because they could get away with it.
I know, but listen, but hear what I'm saying though, bro. I used to work with some cats from Puerto Rico, right? And bro, that's what they taught. That we ain't nothing but niggas or niggers, however you want to put it. That's what they taught, bro.
That's some harsh shit, man.
You in the hospital or somewhere in the elevator, and you get on the elevator, they start talking that blaka bullshit. They talking about you.
Yeah, but here's my problem. Like I had to tell one Spanish dude. I said, man, the same shit that happened to me happened to you.
Yup.
So I don't know what the fuck you so proud for. Like you got some better than me. You speaking a whole nother. You speaking your colonial master's language.
Yup.
That wasn't your ancestral language.
All Puerto Ricans to tell you quick. And shit. Oh, we black. We wasn't no goddamn slaves.
Hey, just remember, them Spanish people didn't speak Spanish until the Spaniards came over and taught it to them.
That's what I'm saying. They was colonialized, bro, like we was.
Yeah.
But let me ask a question right quick, bro. And shout out to you, 23 Lockdown to 1, man. Me and my wife, we love your show.
Facts, dude. I watch it all the time too.
But yo, check this out, man. What do black people have to do or pick up to get some type of identity?
Well,
what do you mean?
Listen, and it depends because, like, I'll put it to you this way: like, I'm married. My wife is from Colombia, and so we're talking about colonialism. You take a DNA test, and she's got indigenous people in her, but she's also got a bunch of Spanish in her too, like a bunch of European DNA, right? So in today's world with DNA, it'll tell you a lot about your identity.
But the problem is this though, bro. How many black people gonna really go spend the money to get DNA, and why should they have to?
Facts. Facts. I ain't spending no goddamn $100 and shit to find out that shit.
I'm just saying.
We ain't got no $100. We like shit. What we can do with $100 and shit. Or I can find out and shit with my national
$100, man. I can come up and turn that into a couple stacks.
Right.
Well, but this is the thing that I think we ignore. We as black people, and I'm a black man, and I'm not saying I'm speaking for all black people. I'm just speaking for me.
Yep.
We got a problem, man. I don't think we acknowledge the fact that shit been taken from us, bro. That's a big ass blow to any community of people. To have your whole shit stripped from you.
But
to not even know your great grandfather's last name, what their true names were, that's a hard pill to swallow when you look at our brothers and sisters that's in Brazil, that's in Colombia, that's in Trinidad, that's in Haiti, that's in Jamaica. They still holding on to their roots, but over here in America, in the North America, that shit is totally shunned, even by its own people.
Well, if I could just expound upon that real quick, Killa. I don't think that's just a problem with the black community. That's actually an American issue in general of people that are actually born and raised in America that have been here for multiple generations. America's a country where our history is built on lies. and none of us, literally none of us that can go back, multiple generations in this country. None of us know our real history or our lineage or where we're from or anything like
I
that.
wouldn't say it was built on lies. I wouldn't say it was built on lies, but it is information that people didn't catch on to. Because
Right.
I
That's
come
fair.
across that a lot of they would say, "Oh, your last name, that's your slave master's last name." That's not necessarily true. Because a lot of slaves, they made up their last name. They made up their name when they became free or whatever. They made their name.
I'm just saying that there's a lot of us, black and white. We don't know our past. We don't know our history. We don't know our culture.
Now this is another thing. People are not like he said. Black people ain't gonna go get no DNA test. Brainstorming,
white people ain't either, bro.
You need to go get this DNA test and shit. And I was like, shit, I ain't spend no goddamn $100 on that shit. But our history is here. We've been taught by Afrocentrism, by all this blackity black shit. We've been taught that this shit been erased. But if you go to do the research, it felt like there's motherfuckers that know where we came from. Maybe not individually where we came from, but they know what slaves was brought over here. And you can tell by the culture of the people. Like they said, a lot of these slaves.
But Phil, I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
But you said a key word, culture. Okay, culture. Right. Now, if you ask any motherfucker, I don't give a fuck if they white, black, pink, green, purple. Tell me what black culture is in America. What defines a black person is?
Well, the way the media portrays it, it's hip hop.
No. I'm just asking a straight up question. Can anybody tell me what black culture is?
Well, yeah. I mean, I can give you my experience from where I live. If you go down into New Orleans, there's a huge culture there that's not hip hop. It's a whole, and it's a wonderful. Like I'm saying, I understand what you're saying. As a black man, you lost. It was stripped away from you, your name, and the part of the continent that you came from. I don't know who the guy is with the snowman because I can't see his name. I think his point is well taken too. Is that I know where my ancestors came from. I can track it, and with the DNA, I can even go back further. Like nobody wants to spend. It's on sale sometimes, $50 sometimes. It can even go back further to where my people came from. But I know exactly. But guess what? My culture isn't what their culture is anymore. It's a new culture. Right. So your culture is wherever you're at right now. That is the culture.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this, bro. If you're looking at the news, like you said, and like Killer has said, the hip hop. Why are we attaching hip hop to black people? What the fuck about hip hop is gonna make somebody black?
Because you got to look at the fact that the black community is what actually, created hip hop. That's why.
Right. But we wasn't rapping about no fucking blowing nobody fucking brains out.
No. I got your.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm talking about how the fuck did we become so fucking violent toward each other? How is that black culture? Because that's what it's looking like it's trending to.
Yeah.
Well, see now,
and a lot of manhood, even to be considered a man amongst most motherfuckers, you gotta have some type of rap sheet.
I wouldn't say.
I'll go back to. I think a lot of the violent, or the violence that you're talking about, it comes from school, man. I've talked to a lot of brothers that have been really digging deep into this whole thought that you're talking about, and they told me that one of the things that they recall the most about going to public school was once they hit about 4th or 5th grade, that's when they started getting told about, slavery and this, that, and the other. And they were made to feel like the white dude that used to be their best friend had to be their enemy now.
Yeah, true. I can feel that. I did that shit in college. I did that shit at school, bro. When I got my first history class in school, I ain't gonna lie, man. And I had a lot of white teammates. I was like, fuck them motherfuckers. Because I felt like we had been lied to in school. You taught one history, then when you got to college, it's a whole nother animal that's dumped on you, especially if that was your major.
Yeah.
So I was like, for a long time, I was like, man, fuck white people. But I had to learn that attitude. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. My father-in-law had to pull my coattail on that shit and tell me to check that shit.
Yeah.
And look at reality. And this man was from fucking Arkansas, Clarington, Arkansas.
Yeah.
And his daddy was a last generation slave. His daddy lived to be 100 years old.
Damn.
He was a last generation slave, bro. So I don't know. I'm disappointed with my people, man, because nobody can tell us what black culture really is. It's all type of bullshit that's attached to it. Ain't nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing, but there's nothing that I would want my sons to do if that's what you call them black culture, because I know they guys gonna either end up dead or locked up.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Could it possibly be that a lot of the black folks from the black community they're wanting a culture of their own, when in all reality, American culture itself is the culture that we all share?
That is true, and you right. But at the same time, if America is a nation of immigrants, and you got the Native American people, who most of them can still hold on to them, and we ain't even said a word about them, the poor Native American people, how they been mistreated. But it's something that I think is just ingrained in American culture, man. That we teach this schism between white and black, when in the reality of that shit, we been living amongst one another. We been teaching one another.
Well,
You know,
if
so
you think about it, this is the only country on the planet where you seem to have this dichotomy where there's this white and black struggle against each other.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
in my father's island, it's a white and black struggle there too.
Like
It's
my
a big
father,
time
he
white
was
and black
5 years
struggle.
old. He from like when all that shit was like, he from the south. And the way he look at shit is totally different than the way a motherfucker up here look at shit. Like you wouldn't even think, you like, damn, he grew up around all this shit, and he don't even think the way these motherfuckers think out here today.
No. See, what I'm saying though is I've talked to a lot of brothers that have went overseas, been in multiple different countries, and you have white and black people in every country on the planet. America is the only country where white and black seems to be. There's this big issue where, it's got to be pointed out that you're white and that you're black. Everywhere else, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I'll take a little bit of exception to that, because I know, for instance, in Colombia, the mainstream Colombians, which are the ones that are probably have the Spanish, like they have like the natives too, right? The people, and they live in amongst the mountains, really, and there are different phenotypes.
But most of those indigenous people on those islands, they've been wiped out, like 90-something% of them.
But what I'm saying is they're looked down upon. But I will say, being that you said you were in the military, I was in the military too. Black people are in American military are superstars when they go overseas.
Yeah, they are. That's what I keep hearing, dude.
There's not a
I've been told by a lot of brothers that are in the military, they go overseas, man, and they can have any woman they want, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's true. I heard that shit too. Yep.
Damn.
I got a dude I went to school with. He that motherfucker like Rambo and shit. I can show you pictures of that motherfucker and shit with all the goddamn machine guns and shit, with the belts of bullets and shit around him and shit. That motherfucker was bagging mad chicks in Germany.
Hey, but you want to know what they say?
Got mad kids over there.
You want to know what the same guys say is a no-go, though, man? What'll end it? They say a lot of those women overseas will fucking stop talking to them once they start talking that blackety black oppression shit.
That could be true too. That could be true.
But is that blackety black oppression shit? Is it not a fact? Is it not a reality?
At one point in time in this country, I would say yes. But in today's day and age, our generation, I don't think we really live that type of oppression anymore. I think that everybody in this country is oppressed to a certain degree.
I disagree. How would you know that?
Nah, I don't know about that shit.
How would you know, though? Seriously.
What up, Robert?
How would you know that?
How would you know? Well, if oppression was really a big deal, we wouldn't have so many black folks that are sitting in positions of power.
That's individual
government that run Fortune 500 companies.
You're talking about individuals, not the majority. You're talking about you can pick
that can apply to the white community too, because those are individuals, not the majority. Then,
but but what you're saying is that because Oprah made billions of dollars suddenly.
I didn't say Oprah.
No, I'm giving you an example. Okay, pick any. It's it's not as many. The examples you're making is not widespread, is what I'm saying. In other words, just because there's some successful people doesn't mean there's not oppression. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, you realize most of the big cities are ran by mostly black people, right? The government.
Well, yeah. Government, like city council, mayor, and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't make the laws. And they don't.
Yes, they do.
They make the laws and shit, but
no, they're gonna be voted on.
They be fucking up shit.
They get voted on by the city council.
Yeah,
some of them, yeah, not all of them. Some of them are voted by, but
most of your city ordinances and shit like that are spoke on and voted on by the city council. Yeah, they don't go on the ballot, and you don't get and the people don't vote on that shit.
But like back to the culture thing though. There's a lot of African culture and we have an identity, but both sides are ignoring it for gain. Say the black side are looking at black culture in America. They're not addressing true black culture in America. They're not addressing it. What they're doing is saying that, oh, the white man did this, the white man did that, and shit, and we don't got this, we don't got that. And you look at science, you look at anthropology and real academics and shit, they're going to show you where you came from. Like, you go to South Carolina, pottery was a huge thing with slaves. And they done did archaeological diggings on black slave quarters, and they done proved that the majority of these motherfuckers in South Carolina and all these southern states came from the Congo region. By the things that they was doing, what they've been finding in the slave quarters, and the language, and all types of stuff. But we're not going to there to go find the information. We going to Louis Farrakhan. We going to the Hebrew Israelites. We're going to the Nawabians.
More
telling us that we some goddamn Egyptians or some stupid ass shit.
Or even better, some of these folks are going to European white motherfuckers that wrote books and getting their information from them as well.
But some of them motherfuckers is telling the truth too. But it's some of them bullshitting. Like Chris Harris, for instance, right? Chris Harris was on here earlier and shit, right? Like I was telling them, I'm like, yo, we wasn't building shit. We wasn't making no motherfucking, we wasn't with architecture and all that shit. We wasn't doing that shit. Know what I'm saying? Like I said, he got mad earlier. I said that shit. We didn't even know what the fuck the wheel was. We didn't know the concept of the goddamn wheel.
Damn.
That's fact. It's in the 1800s. The sub-Saharan African didn't have a concept of the goddamn wheel. Didn't have the concept of the goddamn wheel.
That wasn't even their culture. Right? That wasn't even their culture. They was farmers. They was herders, bro.
No, they wasn't. Because
I mean, most of your Bantu people were herdsmen in the beginning.
The sub-Saharan African, they didn't have herds because the climate had these insects like the tsetse fly and shit like that. You couldn't have a bunch of goats because the insects would come and plague the goats and just kill all them motherfuckers. So we didn't have that type of stuff.
Then you're giving everybody slaves in the tribe.
in the Northern Africa had sheep and goats and cattle and shit like that. Sub-Saharans didn't have that. And the reason why the Sub-Saharans didn't have the wheel, for one, they ain't had no goddamn paved roads. It was like a tropical climate, so the ground was like a swampy, wet climate. Know what I'm saying? So, so the wheel wasn't something that would be beneficial to them.
It wasn't needed.
Well, hey, before you guys get back into it, man, I'm gonna have to hop off here because I got an interview I got to do. But hey, I appreciate you for letting me up, Killer B. I appreciate all you guys on the panel. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys, and blessings to all your family.
Right on.
You too, man. Happy Thanksgiving,
man.
Yep. You saying? And so but we was with all this metaphysics, like when you motherfuckers talk about metaphysics, quantum physics, and all that, they was on all that shit. They spiritual shit was on some different shit than the rest of the world. They had things, their metallurgy and shit, fucking with metals and doing other shit. But black people here in America, they want to latch on to what is looked at as prosperous or like, know what I'm saying, like, or big or good or whatever in this world. Yeah. So they don't want to recognize and say that we came from here, because that shit is not looked at here as something great. Know what I'm saying? They want to be the motherfuckers that built the pyramids and shit like that.
Right. Because that's what's fed to them, man. That's what's given to them.
Right.
And that's what I was saying earlier. With when we talking about culture, man, it's very key that we have something.
Yeah.
That we have something beside basketball and fucking entertainment.
Yeah. Like the Mexican,
because it's hurting us, man.
People don't even realize that most of Mexican culture is African.
True.
They don't even realize. I did a video on that shit. I showed the goddamn academic fucking research on that shit.
I can't even think of the Brazilian scholar who said that every Brazilian got African blood. Every one. Every fucking one. But that's what I'm saying, man. We gave so
goddamn all the motherfuckers on them goddamn islands. They not no indigenous Indians. The Indians, they said 99% of them motherfuckers was wiped out by the goddamn 1500s. It was wiped out.
Columbus and the rest of them.
They said, oh, the white man was killing all of us. No, they wasn't. Disease killed most of these people. Because you got some foreign motherfucker coming to a land that they never been in contact with, bringing disease, and it's going to wipe them out. The same thing happened when the slaves in the Congo the slaves in Cuba decided some of them wanted to go back to Africa. Even the Liberians, when Liberia was established, were ex-slaves from Americas went back to Africa. What happened? They killed just about all the goddamn Africans there.
Yeah, but that was a game plan. But that was a colonial game plan, bro. They was trying to colonialize them people. They was gonna take away all their fucking culture.
No, but I'm saying the disease. Yeah, because we was over here and we got adapted to the environment, and then we went back to Africa and brought all that shit back.
Well,
it wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. And a lot of those slaves that left America to go back to Africa, know what the motherfuckers did? They said, fuck this shit. I'm going back to the America. These son of bitches over here not even wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Fuck that. And they went back. They went back to America.
Right.
And the ones that stayed was killing off the goddamn Africans. They was either enslaving those motherfuckers, making them slaves, or the disease was killing them.
So
it's fucking crazy.
Thank you, Akanga, Yakanda Jada. Thank you.
So the interesting fact on the diseases and things like that, it just goes to show you that history, just the way it happens, there's certain things that make it possible, right? So the fact that the Americas had the natives over here, they didn't have any domesticated good. The animals over here weren't good for domestication, like the moose and the caribou and all those animals. But over in Europe, Asia, even in Africa, they had domesticated sheep and domesticated chickens, and diseases would pass between pigs and things like this to the people, and then eventually you get an immunity. Well, when you come over here, they had no immunity because they had no domesticated animals to pass these diseases around. I thought that was fascinating. If it would have been reversed and the Europeans came over here, the Europeans would have got wiped out with diseases. It's just, it would have been a total different history, basically, is what I'm saying. It's just,
when I was on French Dose shit last night, they was talking about, it was better for people back in the day and stuff like that. And they talk like, we had farms and shit. I said, everybody didn't have a fucking farm. Not every culture had agriculture. Some motherfuckers had to go in the woods and find plants and shit like that. They wasn't growing that shit. Some motherfuckers that had herds of goats and sheep or whatever the fuck. They go somewhere. They on the move. You on the move. You can't plant no motherfucking crops when you on the move. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's all looking at this man. I'm like, yo, you stupid as fuck. And like, yo, this shit's crazy. They're like, this person in here said, they Cuban. The Cubans, some of those Cuban slaves know to this day where they came from. Know they lineage to this day. Like, the slaves is getting off the ships and they talking with the slaves, yo, how's so-and-so doing? Oh, yeah, what's going over there? What's going on over there? Like, man, they over there doing this and doing that. Oh, word? It said, yo, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Know what I mean? They had communication back to Africa. They knew what the fuck was going on. And look at the religion. And those, like, I look at these Puerto Ricans and stuff. I'm Taino. I'm Boricua. No, you not, motherfucker. No motherfuckers is dead. You living through Spaniards and you living through Africans. Point blank, period. You go to Wikipedia right now, and that shit'll tell you only like 0.03% of the motherfuckers on that island is indigenous. Know what I'm saying? Like, they're all wiped out. Sad but true. But that whole the Boricua thing, that whole movement, that shit ain't no different than the Hebrew Israelites and Afrocentrism. It's no different. It was created at the same time. It was something to give Hispanic people some type of self-esteem. That's just bullshit. They talk like, I'm Boricua and shit. No, you not, motherfucker. You either goddamn Spanish or African. And they're gonna sit there and just lie to motherfuckers. And they got this whole thing hyped up and shit. I'm a Taino Indian. No, the fuck you ain't.
Don't forget the Portuguese now.
Yeah.
That's one thing I had to tell my sons about, and my daughter, when we talking about so-called slavery, and we always talking about the white man, right? Blue-eyed, blonde hair. It was the Portuguese and Spanish who got started first.
And the Guanaches, from the Canary Islands, that was brought to Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic by the Portuguese and Spanish. The Guanaches was right off the west coast of Africa, and they were Berbers. The DNA evidence say that they are Berber stock. And guess what? They found these motherfuckers with green eyes. They found these motherfuckers with blue eyes. They found them with brown eyes, blonde hair, brown hair, and black hair. And they on the west coast of Africa. They wasn't affected by the slave trade. They wasn't affected by the goddamn Moorish conquest. None of that shit. You can look at maps on the internet, maps from the goddamn 1500s, and they showing what the people look like at all the regions around Africa. And it showed them like the people in North Africa weren't black like the sub-Saharan. There was light-skinned people, and it wasn't from no Caucasian, it wasn't from no Arabs. That's just what the people look like. So these people want to say, "Oh, I'm a Moor, and shit," and you jet black motherfucker. The jet black Moors were slaves. They were brought from the sub-Saharan up to the North Africa to fight in the Moorish Empire. So when motherfuckers try to tell you, "Oh, the Moors is black," they not black like us. They not black like the slaves that was brought on those ships. Them motherfuckers look damn near white or Hispanic or whatever. Like, know what I mean? Not saying they Hispanic or they're white. They African, but they look different. You look at the Libyan artifacts from Libya. Them motherfuckers got blue eyes. Blue eyes in Africa. And they not mixed with no Caucasian.
Nope.
That's what the motherfuckers look like.
Yep. And
you get these motherfuckers, "Oh, I was Egyptian. I'm this and I'm that." No, you not. You sub-Saharan African, motherfucker. Keep that shit funky. That's where you come from.
And to be honest, go back far enough, and there is truth to the Europeans being black, because before Caucasians showed up, we were all people of color.
Yeah, they saying that now, that the first Europeans was dark-skinned people. That whole light skin pigment thing came later. It's a lot earlier than what people think.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Of course, that makes total sense.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the fact that okay, so the people in Europe used to be black, but that's the same people that are white now. They just changed color. That's all.
Yeah. You motherfuckers is crazy.
We're all from, but I believe that everybody's from Africa.
No. What makes more sense is white man was made in a lab.
Oh yeah.
Yakub. And like I said, yeah, like with that shit, people take that shit and run with it and look at that shit as truth. All right, let Robert say something. What you got to say, Robert? He probably the youngest out of all of us.
From what I've learned on this situation, radlibs tend to embarrass themselves a lot. And it's because they make all these like ridiculous arguments when they just need to go to a very basic argument. Even to be left, they just need to go to a very basic argument, which is culture is okay, but the emphasis on culture. The emphasis on culture is where things like white supremacy come from. Like basically, in other words, if you're trying to tackle that problem, then the focus would be the over-exaggeration of culture, basically, in a sense. So I'll just sit there and say the opposing and then keep trying to build it up and make arguments you're always going to fall back. Because white supremacists stand on trying to keep a certain, well, but they specifically stand on trying to keep a certain perspective of white culture in popularity and in circulation. I guess. I don't know. That's the most I got to say on
it. Yeah, man, this shit is crazy. Like, people be like, it's a lot of shit that these people indoctrinated, like with all these little things. And I didn't even read the article that I wanted to read about this guy Darrell Brooks, right? And they was talking about his rap lyrics and all that stuff, and like he was basically calling himself a terrorist in his rap lyrics. I done did videos on all this shit. I've been did videos on all this stuff, showing how a lot of the most influential hip hop people were basically terrorists.
Do me.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that like these motherfuckers was going out blowing up motherfuckers and shit like that. But look at Wu-Tang. You got subgroups off of Wu-Tang, Killer Army, Sons of Man, what was the motherfucker? Brass Nazareth. You got like all these people and stuff, and you listen to their lyrics. That shit, terrorist shit. They talking about bringing down the government, bringing down the United States, killing white people, and all that shit. And what's ill about it? Most white people know more about that and listen to that than black people. You go to Fairfield, Connecticut, with a bunch of Jewish kids. You see the Jewish kid at the light in his BMW. He playing Killer Army. Know what I'm saying? As I eject this through your eardrum, here it comes, sons of intelligence. Fatter than elephants, are like a mental slave who give a fuck about dead presidents. Why should I kill for who try to kill me? Walk through this music industry with a bomb to my chest for a victory. History heals me, shields me. Force fills me with the truth. I'm going out like a troop, like a war in Beirut when my gun's ready to shoot. Righteous bullets. Keep your mind wicked proof. Or in the day you be a target aimed off my roof. Know what I'm saying? That's the shit I was listening to when I was in the cult. Like I said earlier, sitting here with the goddamn coronavirus and shit. Shit, let me have been a Hebrew Israelite and see what the fuck I'm doing out here. Shit. Know what I'm saying? And people take a lot of that shit for granted. Like, they're just like, oh, this is this rap music. All right, motherfucker. There's a bunch of motherfuckers take that shit to the heart.
Well, I mean,
the heart. That go out here and kill your motherfucking ass.
People will say they shouldn't be held responsible for their words, but I mean, there's somewhat of a problem with this, like, and we've seen it kind of grow over time. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say like you shouldn't have any sort of freedom of expression by any means, but even like under American law, it says like you have freedom of expression up to a certain point. Like, I can't go rally a mob and say, hey, I don't like this guy down the street. Let's go beat him to death. Like, if I go out and start promoting that, that's illegal.
Right.
That's illegal.
Right.
That's free speech. That's illegal. Like, so I mean, even freedom of speech has limits within the United States government. Like, I believe it should be like no different. Like, really, like, I don't know. Like, I guess I would be for the silencing of things like white power groups and shit like this, because it leads kids down a really fucking dark path. Like, I mean, Jesus, look at it. And there's all sorts of bands that promote this shit too, and like small little record companies that promote them and everything else, and they have their own online stores and everything else because, well, they're allowed to under American law. There's no laws against it per se.
But it's crazy because a lot of the black groups and stuff like they're allowed to say all of this shit, and it's almost like forgiven, or yeah, they should be able to say this. Like, they've been oppressed in America, so they should be able to say this shit. But look at what the shit turning into now.
Right. That's that's a hairy situation.
Like, the Klan could go out there and rally. The Ku Klux Klan could go out there and rally in the United States. You know what I'm saying? It is legal. But the Klan know they only can say certain stuff.
Yeah.
But they letting these other motherfuckers, the Black Klan, go out there and just say any old motherfucking thing.
Oh yeah, no, you've got some really weird like fringe groups like out there that are just talking some really weird stuff. But I feel like the difference between the two and why the latter is not taken as more serious is because of the sheer population and numbers between the two. White supremacy is a little bit more of a Hollywood aesthetic now at this point in America. You've had so many different little movies and everything come out about it. And it's almost like a taboo around like white suburban communities and shit. You know, it's like that thing you're not supposed to touch, which can, if not properly educated, this can attract certain people. And that's what I'm saying. So it's fascism to begin with is a whole fucking mess in itself. Like, I don't even know if I want to touch this subject because it's kind of hard to explain in itself. Like, if you take it all the way back to its roots with Mussolini and Il Gente, like in the writings they did on it, which I've only skimmed over. I couldn't tell you the full in depth of it, but it's very weird and very shifty.
Yeah.
The way it works. It doesn't have to actually cling to. Everybody often tends to think that, like, you know, they think of the number one thing when they hear fascism, they think of Nazi Germany. But it doesn't technically, it's still just as damaging, but it doesn't technically even have to embrace a eugenic cause. Like, I'm trying to remember, there's a country, I might have to look it up here in a second, but there's actually a country, it was in South America, where they had a fascist party that was an anti-eugenic fascist party.
Yeah.
And in other words, it was like everybody's involved, but we're still going to be fascist and beat up all the communists and hate everybody that is politically against us. Like, there's still damaging aspects to it, even though they chucked the racism. There's still a lot of other damaging aspects to it and vile things. But it's a lot to go into. Like, it's quite a bit to go into. Like, it's not something you can just sum up in a sentence. Like, for me to try to sum it up in a sentence would be completely pseudo-intellectual. Like, it's something that's vast in its understanding. Like, but it relies heavily around that, around the embracing of the best way I can explain is the embracing of an idea or a lie, in a sense, or what I would call a lie in a sense. But to rally others around this idea for perseverance's sake, in other words, as like uniting the species as a perseverance kind of thing.
So hey brother, let me ask you, and maybe I misheard you.
Mm-hmm.
So are we to suppose that like white supremacy is not real?
No. It's
Okay.
very
All right.
real. Very real.
Cool.
What I'm telling you, no, what I'm telling you is I'm actually explaining how fascism works and how like in depth it really is, and like how all over the place. Like, it can manifest itself more than just in a swastika in a Hitler picture, is what I'm saying. This is why you have all these weird, obscure fascist groups all around the world, and symbolisms people don't even catch on to that are fascist. That aren't as notable and stuff like that people will use on the internet, and someone will say, hey, that's fascist, and they'll be like, how do you know? It's, well, if you study history enough, you start to know that fascism, like, it wasn't just in Germany. I mean, at the beginning of World War II, you had the Spanish Civil War, which was basically fought in Spain, which was Civil War fought in Spain between the Republican forces and basically what would be fascist forces in a sense. Forgive me for not having the technical names off of the top of my head, but you can look up documentaries on the Spanish Civil War and get somewhat of an idea on it. It's a very dark prelude to World War II, and it's somewhat of an important part of history when it comes to like evaluating like politics, or at least when it comes to like radical politics. Like, if you're looking into like fascism and communism and anarchism and all these, like this is a big point where all of these would have kind of been like combating each other, and there would have been a lot of like propaganda of them around and so on. Like, it's because it kind of started in Spain, and basically what you had is Francesco, or basically the fascist side of the government, which was fuck. I'm sorry, I'm massacring all this, which was basically backed by fascist forces, in other words. So it was backed by Hitler and Mussolini, and all that. And then you had the opposing side, which was backed by communist forces like Stalin, but also more liberal forces in between there too. You had people from America that came over to fight in the war. You had people from Britain that came over to fight. People that sympathized with like radical left groups or like anarchist groups came to fight over the Spanish Civil War during this time period. So it was really kind of a very bloody experiment in the early 20th century, in a sense. But you can get kind of a vague idea of politics from just starting on that war and then going all the way through it, but not just studying the wars themselves, but also like the documents behind it. In other words, like, what did Mussolini and Evelyn Gente write? I mean, yeah, these things are cringe to read, but in reading them, you actually understand fascism better to be able to dismantle it. I guess is what I'm getting at.
Huh. That's dope.
Yeah. Sorry.
Shit.
I got off on a rant there.
Yeah, my ass running out of gas and shit. Liquor whipping my ass and shit now. It passed out. I had all the gas and shit earlier. Shit. Yeah, I'm about to wrap it up and shit. And y'all got some last words and shit. Before I close this thing up.
No, you're good.
Good conversation.
Yup. Oh, put Robert, put your YouTube channel up. I want motherfuckers to subscribe to you. You got a good channel and stuff. I like watching you make good videos.
Who was Robert?
Dude with the mask on it.
Left hand
The guy with the mask that was in here earlier? Oh,
Yep.
him. Okay. What about the other guy? The one that
Who?
took off.
Who, Neg?
He was just in here. No, not Neg.
Oh, Nkosi.
What's up, man?
Yeah, Nkosi's still here.
Oh, his picture's not there.
Is he?
Anymore.
Yeah, I don't
What
see
up?
it.
Can y'all hear me?
Here. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Oh, okay. Your picture's not up anymore. No, I was gonna say you ought to. I don't know how often you get in here. Good to chat with everybody and discuss these things. I just think that my last word is that I can understand, like Witchfinder. I think you'd agree that the reason that there are all these groups, when he was saying, well, what is our culture? He was sort of asking like, well, what kind of, where is our culture? And because of you're in a country where the dominant culture by majority of people is a white culture, you're looking for something of your own, and since it was stripped from you, that's why I think you have groups like the Hebrew Israelites, the Moors, the Nubians, the Hoteps, is because you're trying, people are trying to find out, like, where is my place in this world? And the fact that we have so much history, and all history is a story, right? It's a story, and it's coming from a Eurocentric point of view. I think that's why you have all these other things, because there is a lot of history and a lot of things that aren't covered every day in everyday life. And it is a Eurocentric or a white-dominated history that we learn about. So I think, but that doesn't mean the Hebrew Israelites are right. It doesn't mean all the other ones are right as well,
Mm-hmm.
Let me say this, man, and I'll jump off, bro. Black people, you got to find time to heal yourself, man. A lot of the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, a lot of that shit's emotional because people's hurting on the inside, man, from their family's past, their current situation, and what they look like at a bleak future for a lot of people, period, that's in the inner city. So not just black people, but for black people that's attaching themselves to that doctrine, man, do the research. Find time to find yourself before you go looking for God. Find yourself. And maybe, hopefully, we can do better.
Yep.
I would like to go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I would just like to segue off my boy Nkosi. A lot of bad things have happened in the past, and there's nothing we can do to change that. And I kind of get why people are trying to be Hebrew Israelites or Hoteps, looking for somewhere to belong. But I'm in South Carolina, and earlier when we were talking about oppression and things of that nature, yes, oppression was definitely a real thing.
Oh, my bad.
70s, 80s, 90s, and sure, there's still singular cases of oppression even to today. But whenever I wake up in the morning and I get out there and hustle, my black counterparts have every right to do the same thing, and I'm talking about today, and I'm not saying that there's not singular cases of oppression. Like I said, yes, that does exist. Racist people still do exist. But at the end of the day, the culture here in South Carolina, yes, white people and black people have their own subcultures, but the culture's pretty much the same, and it's grown men and women waking up every day and going to work and taking care of their families, watching the same football games, watching the same Netflix, predominantly eating the same food here in the South. Don't sleep on these old white women out here too. You know what I'm saying? As far as the food goes and the culture and the things that are going down in the kitchen. And I think that instead of trying to be something special like my ancestors were Israelites or Egyptian, and realize that being a Black American, especially here in the South, in my personal opinion, is super dope. Being white American, especially here in South Carolina, is super dope. And then that boils down to just being Southern American. And then you can take that further as being American and let that be your culture and find solace in that being an American is freaking awesome. And I'm not saying that we haven't done evil things. We for sure have. And there are people in power with malicious intent, of course. That's the whole thing about being power hungry, and humans at the end of the day are predatorial and even cannibalistic. But like I said, the day in and day out people that keep the infrastructure running and the culture that we all share is pretty great. So I'll let that be my closing statement.
I want to say real quick before
I'm sorry, I do want to bring up one thing. Part of the reason I've been wore the fuck out is I've been actually going through a lot of shit with EA co-editing, like a lot of like reading his shit, and like I've been exhausting myself with it. Hours of audiobooks, all sorts of shit like that. If you really want something to pull, Witchfinder, if you really want something to pull apart, look up Baneful Magic from EA co-editing. Now you can get there's a audiobook version of this on YouTube that I've already gone through. I had to sit through 7 hours of it. That's why my brain isn't here right now. It hurts. And I'm going to let you know this. About 1 minute and 30 seconds into it, he already goes from 0 to 80.
Wow.
Leave it at that.
Okay.
1 minute and 30 seconds into it, 0 to 80.
I listened to one of his audio books. I forgot what the name of it was, but it was pretty much going through like the whole magic thing from scrying to spells to like all the little separate little things and stuff. And I was like, okay, I kind of feel some of this shit. I'm like, this is kind of good for somebody that never was ever exposed to this to get kind of like an understanding of it and stuff. Yeah. But I could, but then you get into some other books and then that shit just take you out in left field. And I did the video the other day about this Timothy Donahue, who was actually the real head honcho over there at Become a Living God. And I believe he got EA co-editing out there as the fall guy.
That would make sense.
Because he obviously got some sense enough to fall in the background and just collect all the bread. Because EA co-editing obviously can't run the business.
Right.
There's no way that they're making a ton of money with EA co-editing running it. Like, that's literally impossible.
Right. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like you could learn scrying from a million different fucking people that aren't him. Like,
yeah.
That's like, I learned about scrying in like the first little witchcraft book I picked up that I can't even fucking remember the name of it this point. That was years ago. Like, but yeah, like that's what I kind of mean by he's like a con artist. Is he just puts out very simple things like many other people have already put out before, which is not necessarily bad. I guess everybody has to make a paycheck nowadays, but he just puts like weird shit in there, and really weird shit. Like, you should act on your homicidal tendencies, but then like a couple paragraphs later he says not to. It's like, well, should I or should I not?
Yeah. Yep.
It's like it's not very well cohesively written, and it sounds like that kid in the back of Hot Topic that's trying to be real fucking edgy after going to watch the latest horror movie. Like, that's literally all it fucking sounds like to me. Like,
yeah.
I can't explain it as anything better.
Absolutely. It's right. letting the people hear what they're there to hear.
Right. I mean, you got your wallet. Basically, that's all it is. Just after wallets, got any wallets now.
Yup. Just give me the money and I have some more of this shit for you. That's basically what they saying and stuff. Yep. You need some more of this bullshit. But I'm starting to see like a lot because I'm getting exposed to more videos from other YouTube people and stuff that's into all that stuff. Yeah. And I'm just like looking through it and I'm like, damn, like this shit is crazy. Like you got people, oh, Satan speaks to me. Oh, my toothbrush fucking moved in the fucking medicine cabinet and that was Satan talking to me and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's people with a more theistic perspective on it. Like, I'm okay with those folks. Like, they're okay. They're interesting. Like, I don't have anything against them by any means.
Yeah.
Like, I get a little flack for this sometimes, but I feel like there's more science to it than
right.
Not like the pseudoscience you honestly hear like thrown out a lot of the time. Like, a theory I have about scrying is actually you're talking to different parts of your mental conscience. But I wouldn't be the first person to say this. Like,
yeah.
I'm attaching to a theory I'm already familiar with, and honestly feel like is very fitting from a more scientific perspective. Not to say that I'm completely atheist, because I've had some really weird things happen that I can just say like there's certain views I don't click with atheists on. I'm very in the air with this still, and my spiritual journey is still kind of going. So
yeah,
but I try to look for more rational answers to things.
Right.
Like, I don't try to accept the most obscure answer to it because I feel like that's just my conscience talking to me in a way, and it's going to come up with some obscure things, I'm sure. There's parts of the brain you don't ever fuck. I mean, some of the shit you see in your dreams alone can fuck with you. Like, I mean, let alone pulling on things in your head. So I see why some people also do get like flipped out by it sometimes, maybe, and think like, you know, like they have to like run to a church afterwards and stuff. Like, especially with like Left Hand Path, because I look at it like this: you're pulling on the darker side of your conscience, in a sense.
Yeah.
So take your worst fear and can you confront it? Like, can you train yourself to confront that over and over again? Like, you know, like,
yeah.
So it can be strenuous on some people, like, depending on what you're doing, you know, like, I don't know, like, because you're pulling on that side of your mind, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to get visions of that. You're going to get visions of, you know, like when you were a little kid and you had that nightmare that really just made you, like, wrap yourself up in a blanket, you know what I'm saying? But there's some knowledge to be found in that, being able to face that fear and everything else. There's some knowledge to be found in that, I believe, mentally.
Right.
That's what I've learned. And it's done a little bit of benefit for me. But I do believe like magic also holds like a little bit of effect into the material realm as well. I don't know. I apply mostly to chaos magic.
Right on.
Which is an all over the place field, honestly. It's very, you've had some weird fedora tippers come into it and just smear nonsense in it, but you've also had some like pretty decent individuals come in and actually spit some knowledgeable subjects on it. Like, so it's a field you have to dig through.
Right. Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this thing up before I pass out on your asses. But thanks for everybody for coming on. You, Robert Paulson, the Cozy, Siberia's, Negi, Trailer Hood. Who else we have? No Saint was up in here. We had Cherry Love in the chat. Akadan Tennant. Congo Jada. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jasmine Fly. We got on your head today, Jasmine Fly. Yeah. Yeah. Who else was up in there? Angry Snowman. I think that was Trailer Hood. Cozy, I said. Jake Plant. Shit, who else we had up in here? Some more people came in. Monette was up in here. Sorry, Monette, I didn't see you up in here until now. I think shit. I guess that was it, probably. But yeah. I might go live again later tonight if I can pull up some shit.
Well,
And
I've got more hours of co-editing in front of me, so if you're interested in talking about it later.
yeah, okay.
I could use a warm up for it before I try to do a video to tackle all this. My brain is like hammered shit at this point. Like, I hate having to listen to this man's books. Like, I'm not a dramatic person that seeks problems with people usually, but this, my God, like, this is just atrocious. Like, how did this get published? Like, Mike, how did it get published? Like, who the fuck? I definitely don't have insecurities about putting out a book anymore. I'll definitely tell you that much. I mean, Jesus.
Well, I didn't realize they put out that many goddamn books. These motherfuckers put out a lot of books, dude. I went to that Timothy Donahue's website, and they had the whole thing, all the people that wrote books for them and stuff.
Propaganda works. Propaganda works, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Propaganda is the key, bro. So any kind of movement like that, bro, because it touched people's emotions, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Like oh yeah, the off door was up in here. She came through. Her husband actually wrote some books for Become a Living God. Curtis Joseph. You guys can go check out that. It's Curtis with a K. Curtis Joseph. Go check out that YouTube.
That's the only reason there's a cult knowledge in this shit is because other people besides him wrote these books.
Yeah. Shit is crazy. Well, but yeah, let me get on out of here and stuff. Yeah, thanks to everybody for coming on. I'm Killer B, the goddamn Witchfinder General. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, and shit. Join the goddamn supporters list, whatever. But I'm up out of here and shit. My liquor wearing off and shit. I'm trying to pass out. Later.
All right, my dog. Be safe, bro. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Yep. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Yep. Peace.